Do you have any notepads or anything you want to?
No, I do not.
Do you want to?
We'll do it live. Well, the thing is like, I mean, I can write it down or something like that, but if anything that has notes in it, it's in the car. So.
This is winging.
Well, we did it last time.
We're winging it right now.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
We're hi.
Hello.
We're a podcast.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about why we did this. Like why.
There's too many podcasts. They're talking about dumb shit. We're here to talk about cool shit. Like, dude, I don't know.
I mean, it happens to be also dumb shit too, but it's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, fuck.
Can we bleep out the bad words later?
Yeah.
It's just a lot more homework for me.
Well, the thing is like YouTube doesn't really like. How long has it been in the recording?
Okay, I think it's first 30 minutes. You swear it all on
Yeah.
the live stream, instantly dinged. But this won't be a live stream.
No, it would be a
unfortunately, the super chats aren't real.
Super. You're not real audience.
The ones I see in my head, they're not real.
So I guess what this our podcast is called.
Interlinked
PC.
Well,
shut up. I can change it. I can change it right now.
Yeah,
It's for Interlinked.
I didn't realize that the PC is like, what the fuck is PC? Because we're not PC. Oh,
No, podcast.
Okay, duh.
It clicked.
So is there a way? Why does PC show up? Why is PC there?
I think you just shortened it so we'd have
Yeah. shortened it?
I just shortened it, man. That's all I did. Yeah.
less syllables to have to type. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I did it. Yeah.
Okay, so we just make it.
I mean, I could do this.
I just don't like the letters PC, man. Because
It's just something not PC about it.
It's not PC at all, man. Yeah.
It's cringe.
It's pretty cringe, pretty gay, pretty lame, pretty cringe.
So Interlinked Podcast.
Yeah, I could just change it right now.
Okay.
They still have no idea who we are.
Okay, not yet. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the handle. Should I just put like interlinked within cells interlinked?
no.
I'm
This
kidding.
Interlinked Podcast. Yeah. I didn't realize that.
How about
PC was
I can't put interlinked. This handle isn't available.
Someone already took it. Fuck!
They took the handle, but they didn't take the.
What's the handle? What are you talking about? I'm behind.
Okay, so like a Twitter, the @ like you can change your username pretty much whatever you want, except for Twitter Blue. I think they make it.
Somebody also took Interlinked Podcast too.
Are you fucking serious?
Well, we're the Linked Inter Podcast.
Linked Inter. No, I'm talking about the handle. I'm talking about
Yeah,
the
no,
Fuck that handle. Who cares? Just put podcast.
We still
I
got
did it. It didn't accept it. I might just put a space between it. See if that works.
This URL. I ain't gonna take a space. It'd have to be an underscore or hyphen.
God damn it, we gotta change the name again?
Interlinked
First episode.
Podcast.
Us picking a name.
Yes.
Interlinked Podcasting. Does that work?
Interlinked Podcasting.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck it.
That's
All right.
a company name, dude.
Right?
Hold on. How about put an underscore and then like put podcast right there? See what happens. To see what's up. What's up? There we go.
Is this
Interlinked
Twitter?
No, it's YouTube.
YouTube, man.
Different social medias will
okay.
steal good ideas from each other. Like when
Yeah.
YouTube, like you can preview thumbnails. When Pornhub was doing that for like years before.
I don't know if we can mention that on.
You can't say Pornhub.
I don't know. Maybe
You can say Fleshlight.
We should definitely-
I'm not censoring it. See, notice? You can say Fleshlight because it's a company
use
name.
the intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The intro song.
There's
somebody
somebody.
podcast.
I think somebody already did that.
That's pretty
because there's one called a Humor Hub. So Humor Hub.
Those are the last people I want to piss off because those guys got like crazy buku money. Like
Yeah.
they got so much money that they can show you videos for free.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
crazy.
where.
Yeah. So the handle is at interlinked _podcast. That work.
Memorize that.
Yeah, I guess remember it. I don't know if you're going to see this, but
What's the password?
YouTube where we Interlinked Podcast?
Interlinked _podcast. That's the handle.
For the YouTube channel?
Yes.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
It's the @ You ever look at Twitter?
Yeah.
You can add somebody.
So there's a username and then there's your handle. The
Yeah.
handle is what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
@ symbol.
sometimes, yeah.
The @ symbol, that's one of a kind. Like whatever you put it behind after that @ symbol, there can only be one of those on the site. Username, you could have a million different people with
Yeah,
names.
that's right. Same name. I'm not.
I managed to get Soggy Hog. That was my favorite, like the best handle I got. I got Soggy Hog. That's mine. I'm gonna get soggyyhog.eth. None of you fuckers steal it.
So straight up Interlinked Podcast is what we're calling
Yes, but we're calling ourselves. Yeah.
And introductions?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, our location is we're in a bunker
Yep.
in the center of Kansas.
Heavily fortified, so once you look for it, we got snipers around the perimeter, Gatling turrets, snipers, rockets, bolt guns.
We have slaves too.
And the handler over here. I'll censor that. Don't worry.
So, yeah, we didn't want to give our real names, we want to have our code names, right? So
I'm fine. I'm Brad. Soggy Hog.
That's not his real name. Okay, good.
Yeah, Soggy. Brad Soggy Hog is not my legal name.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah, he's done for, guys. He's done for. The CIA is after you.
And for you, what do you want to put?
What you got?
Okay. Hell.
I already called you by your name on accident.
Hey, oh, yeah, you did.
So
Yeah.
I'll have to either
That's not
censor
his
that.
That's not his real.
Yeah, that's not his real name. That's his handle. It's like on Chatterbait. That was his handle.
Did you
Chatter, fuck you. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're not using our real names.
Well,
no, there's like
the thing is, like, I don't want to use my real name.
No, you don't have to because
I guess it's Castro, yeah.
Kestrel?
Castro like a bird.
Dude, I think like an oyster
I'm not gonna remember that.
representation.
I was gonna say, hey, you,
It's a bird.
you, talking to you.
Yeah, you.
All the audio podcast listeners, who the fuck's he talking to?
What's your name again?
Brad.
Castro.
Castro.
Castro, yes, it's a bird.
Okay.
Or
Better if you played Gears of War 4, it's a helicopter.
Castro.
Okay.
Castro.
I'm gonna go by ROM.
Yeah, wrong, yeah.
ROM, which basically is British for receiver of memory.
Receiver of what?
Receiver of memory.
Receiver of memory. Oh, that's from The Giver?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
He is the 32 gigabytes.
Yes, let's talk.
I'm gonna go over on this at home.
Okay.
While you guys can get the King's Sound practice shit.
Yes, it's Gibby.
I'd
Yeah.
love to be a guest.
Fuck yeah, we'll have
Give it a
Gibby!
Alright, love you guys. Good luck
Peace
on
out.
your journey. This fucking sounds awesome. So
Cool though. Gibby from iCarly is actually doing like YouTube stuff. It's Sad World. I've seen his stuff. It's pretty funny.
I am a cat.
Yeah, it's like skit comedy.
see you later, dudes.
Make sure you push the code. Push the code. Push the code to get out of the silo.
Yeah, push the code.
Yeah, seal the bulkhead.
Oh, it's been like 7, about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Shit.
So,
Are we gonna-
yeah, I guess, well, the thing which is, this is establishing, like, why the fuck we're doing this. God,
Well, it's
trying to curse. We're establishing, like, why we're doing this, and it's because when we all met, we just had kind of like, we had these long conversations that went for hours, and we're like, and then over and over and over again.
over again, over again.
And like one of the funny parts is when we were watching Fallout and how it became
the Fallout TV show.
yeah, it became like a nerd rage debate, and it was awesome.
I wasn't, but talking about Fallout, we do need to talk about the show.
Yeah.
Well, dude, okay.
His reaction was like, "No, that's not possible. That happened." And I was like, "This is cool."
When I'm sitting over there on one of those stools, I was literally like,
"No, yeah, let's go." So when I saw, I was like, "Okay, now we got something here." Yeah.
Gatekeeping. This is a good lesson in gatekeeping IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda doesn't give a shit about gatekeeping. They're about money. So lowest common denominator. How do you get them interested? Fuck the lore. We need to make this make sense on a TV show. That's how I look at it. So
Yeah.
they dumbed it down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
so that way normal people would watch it and get interested. Yes, where that's good for the IP in the short term because it gets a lot more eyes on it.
yeah.
But long term, it's going to isolate those hardcore dedicated fans that know the lore in and out, and they see all these discrepancies, and they're going to point it out and be like, "Hey, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. I don't like the IP anymore."
That's the cool thing I like about the.
It's an issue, really. It's just the same thing as Star Wars with all their other stuff.
So this is why we talked about these things. We went for hours,
Yeah.
and we brought in politics, and we got deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And then we was like, I think you were the first one to mention the idea. Well, I told you guys I've done podcasts in the past, and it's like it really isn't that hard to do.
If anything, it stemmed from you. Because you showed us the videos from yours, and then
yeah, that's right.
and then we started.
Shit, what did I do?
And as soon as we started doing our campaign on D&D, that's when it
Yeah, so
started.
it really-
and that's when it started to like pick up a little more traction, and we're like thinking about it. And when we sat somewhat like this, although I think you were a little further over there, and I was right here, and you were there.
Yeah. You don't have to watch that, do you?
Oh no, it's gone! It's gone!
no.
The screen fell
Oh,
asleep.
okay.
It's over.
That's how that kind of happens. Like every time we do this, and then I think it was, when I showed you guys the short films I did, and then the podcast and that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
we kind of like, what was really, to me, it was shocking, like, the age difference didn't matter. We still had kind of the same kind of like things that we liked, and that was really surprising. Like it spanned like generations. It didn't really matter. It's like when you guys were talking about Fallout, I was like, damn, you guys are talking about Fallout. I played that like when you guys were even born, bro.
I was like 9.
Yeah, and it's
Fallout
like,
three.
oh, it's like Star Wars. Like if I had, it's like Star Wars. It's the kids are. You have like I heard stories where I had father and son, and the father showing them all Star Wars movies, not the new ones. Crap. But yeah, that's how it kind of started. But then after we started doing, we did D&D a couple. I never played D&D before.
Yeah.
And then you said we should do this as a podcast. I go, holy crap! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is because we went into real depth. Now, tell them how we're coming with a name, right? And tell them how Interlinked.
We were gonna do Talk to It, but that was taken.
Yeah, dude. Spit on that day.
Yeah. Let's not breathe life into that dead meme anymore than it already has.
She made a lot of good money, so good for her.
I will tell you, very good marketing because I almost got baited into watching it because they're like, I would have never expected the Hawk Tuah girl to be talking about like quantum string collapse and all that. It's like, what?
What?
Hold up, she's having like scientists on talking
Church
about.
girl too, or
Right, yeah,
she's actually she's a teacher.
Yeah,
She got
very
fired.
wholesome. Very wholesome.
Yeah. Well, it's like what?
But also made a joke about spitting on a dick.
Yeah.
And
I was like, okay,
that was really good troll marketing though, because if you actually go check it out, it's none of that. It's all.
nasty.
She found a niche. She found a market. Good for her, but not my cup of tea. That's all I gotta say.
I wouldn't buy it.
I never really watched.
Yeah. But good for her that she made money because she got fired when being a teacher. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about her. I just
I know, but it didn't really matter. But when I heard that what had happened, and then she like, yeah, that's good for her. She didn't do anything.
Yeah, she had
Terrible.
her 15 minutes, and then she
Yes.
ran with
She
it, and
cashed,
she's
yeah.
stretching that further. How far she can stretch it, who knows?
Go for it,
Yeah.
And so that's when we're talking about names, and we found out that the name we had never been taken.
Yeah,
was a
name prior.
So we're here watching something down the bunker. We're watching something here down the bunker, and you said Interlinked, and I go, dude, I like that. Check if anyone was taking it, and then we start thinking about it, and you were spouting off almost by memory the actual lighting tech. It's a lighting tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, I didn't spell it off my memory.
Almost, dude.
Almost, yes.
Nerd.
But
Like a polygraph or what?
Okay,
Well,
so
you know the whole thing.
you ever heard of the void comp test that they do in the movie?
Blade Runner. Remember Blade Runner? The guy's looking.
No,
You
didn't watch
seen
it
it,
yet.
no.
I haven't watched
Dude,
it yet.
so-
I've seen 2049, and I thought that
Okay,
was
you've seen
pretty
that one.
So
Okay.
So you've seen the scene where he's sitting in the room and he has to repeat
Yeah.
with himself.
Oh, I've seen so many fucking
Yes.
people do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually from a book. It's from a poem, right?
Mhm.
And so there's more meaning to it. But I know when I watched it again, and after he said it, and it goes, it's a lie detector test to see if you're a robot or a human, basically. And then it was checking for,
It was checking for deviancy.
and then I said,
Deviancy.
it's checking for deviancy,
Remember
which is
Stars? Like you have
Yeah.
well, you play it too.
So it checks if you're a deviant.
It
yes,
checks
and
if you're dissenting, you're trying, you're from.
So it can smell it if you're a gooner.
No. It's a lie detector test to see if you have deviancy, and when we start, it's wokeness.
So when
It's
it
checking
came,
for wokeness.
okay, so when it came
That's
to
what it's
20
checking for.
Yeah, when it came for
So
checking if you're woke.
Yeah.
And his brain blew up.
So when it came for 2049,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what was his character's name again? Ryan Gosling's character.
It's called
K.
Right.
It's K.
That's
So-
right. Yeah. No, Joe.
It's K. Because,
Oh, that's what-
because the
that's what
hologram
Joey
calls K Joe.
Joe. That's right.
Or at least his hologram probably calls him K, but when it's
Yeah.
like a different one, it says, "You look like a good Joe."
Yeah.
You know, that type of, that it's a really good scene. It's been beamed to high hell too, probably. But
Hot hologram lady.
Perfect.
yeah. So basically, So basically, the whole point of that test in particular, because he is a
Sigma.
in the most derogatory term ever, a skin job.
Yeah.
He's a robot. It's a android.
See, we were discussing that, like, what's a robot? What's an android?
Yeah.
What's a clone?
And if you have sex with a clone, is it gay?
No.
It's the if anything. It's
Well, it depends on, no, that's what I'm
Is
saying.
it masturbating or gay if you suck your clone's dick?
It's self-cessed.
It's, I don't know. No,
I don't know if I can even say that.
When you
on
say
fucking-
clone,
on YouTube.
that's what I'm saying. We were
I said it
discussing,
twice.
like, what is it? And it basically, it's a clone, but it's a original clone. You could say it that way. That's what a replicant is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
so-
still, it's not a robot because there's nothing mechanical in there. It's been made
If anything,
From flesh?
made from flesh.
So you haven't played 4, have you?
Play what?
4, Fallout 4.
Yes, I played Fallout 4.
Okay, so you know how they make the sense and all that type of
Yeah, but
stuff.
those are robots. Those are
Yeah, those are
Yeah, those
purely
are
artificial.
Those are androids.
That's basically what these things are.
Yeah.
These replicants and everything like that. They
Well,
are that.
no,
they
if
are.
they're-
They are.
No,
Are they
because
purely-
we just,
Okay, here
Are
we're
they
this is
purely
what I'm talking
carbon?
about. No, we know, and okay, there's
Oh,
already been
God.
a metal robot, android, skin on metal. Oh, android, skin on metal, looks like human.
Big
Android.
definition here. Big definition. Is it purely carbon-based or is it
Plastic, whatever you want. Okay, if it has skin, it looks like a human. Covered, it's a robot covered in whatever material that looks like a human. That's an android.
basically
Data- Yeah, Data is an android from Star Trek. Data is an android, and you have, like, say, Terminator. That's an android too, but it's a Terminator. It's a killing robot. Data could be a killing robot too.
It could be.
Yeah. So beyond that, now the replicants, there's clone, right?
So
Which is a copy from a human, from a twins or natural clones. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So it's basically a clone is a copy from a human. That's a clone.
Yes.
A clone is a copy from a human. Then it's when you have a replicant, it's just pulled from a human, but swirled around to where it let it. It's gonna be a clone, but it's gonna have its own face, its own looks, its own skin, whatever.
Okay, so just hitting randomize on character.
Randomized,
Yeah.
PC, yeah, exactly. So that's what a replicant is.
So-
For him to say it's an android, or no, it's not, because there's nothing metal in it.
If it's purely carbon-based, I would agree.
It's carbon-based. It's a human.
So
It's literally a human.
it would be the same thing with the Sense from 4, because as soon as they get into further generations or anything like that, they were indistinguishable from humans.
But if you cut them in half, what do you find?
Probably just the same, just synthetic guts.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
But the only thing that would be different is what's inside the noggin, and that would be a synth component. I don't know how big it is, probably like this big or something like that. It's like
Like a hard drive?
something,
Advanced hard drive?
something like that.
It's not organic material. It's not organic.
Yeah, yeah. So
It is? Yeah. Or
No. It's
No, I remember them being like mechanical in nature.
Then that's an android.
so it's like this big, and it's inside the head.
But it's covered in organic material.
Some, yeah, I believe so. Yes, because
What the hell is that? I don't know.
then it would be.
I'll be Jamie here.
Yeah,
It's an android.
yeah, do it right quick. Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So we're talking about replicants, how they're basically a better version of a clone.
Well, here's the thing too about that is if you look into 2049, they have multiple scenes of the replicants inside of artificial loops. It's like see-through, it's like back here. Yeah, my only thing is though is the weirdest thing about that shit, in my opinion, is I don't know why they don't call them biomechanical, just like bionicles and all that type of shit.
Bionicle.
Bionicle.
They probably didn't have a real nerd there.
Well, bionicles or biomechanical machines. He knows more about it because he has the video game.
That's all it takes. You just gotta own Bionicle Heroes for PC.
Go into more detail.
Well, I think it's just more like what. By the way, Lego was.
That's the first thing that popped in my head when you guys were saying it. Legos.
Yeah, they fucked up by they tried doing a reboot of it, calling it Hero Factory.
I actually own one of the things.
It wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same, but I actually kind of like one of them. That was the snow guy. I'm assuming it was the snow guy. So
The cum guy.
The funniest thing is he also came in a jar too, and I was like, oh god,
He came in a jar. Huh?
Fuck off. No, it's about this big, and he's all disassembled inside. Of course, you got to build them and everything like that. But it was like a plastic jar type thing. I don't know what to say. It was something to hold him in.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be like. When I was fucking around with him because I had like Legos and shit like that, I assumed it was his cryopod and everything like that.
Yeah,
his stasis pod,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much it. Which is interlinked. Oh, interlinked. Interlinked with the whole fucking the artificial wombs in 2049. At least I'm calling them that. It looks like
That's what they were.
So Bionicles were in Blade Runner?
No. I'm just saying, why didn't they, when you looked up the definition for replicants, right?
Why
They're
didn't
like
they call them?
bioengineered,
Yeah.
whatever else they said on that.
But Blade, they're saying that the writers, whatever, are saying they're androids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to disagree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, the way you're describing it, if they are purely flesh,
Yeah.
then I would consider
Well,
that clone.
Harkin.
It's a better clone or whatever. Yeah.
Well, Harkin from Fallout 3, he was an android, and they called them synths still during that time.
In Fallout 3, there's a
Yeah.
synth in Fallout 3.
Yes. I'm spoiling it for you then. I don't know if you
It's
want to
been
play
out
three.
for so fucking long, dude. I don't...
Well, Harkin was a security guard on Rivet City that you could talk to, but until you get Dr. Lee, that's her name, you talk to Dr. Lee and everything like that after you find your father at Vault 22?
Dude, spoilers.
Shit, I don't really remember the whole thing, but
But the reason why they call them these different names is because of a copyright from some other show.
Well,
That's the only reason why.
yeah.
Marvel owns the copyright to superheroes.
What?
Yeah, that's the craziest shit. That's why they always call them like soups or something else. Like,
Oh, that's right.
because Marvel
boys.
paid out the ass for that. And
Hmm.
that's insane that you could own a term that, like...
No,
I mean,
it's a Star Wars did that. George Lucas did that a lot. Even planet names were trademarked. When you look at the poster, like you look at a name, it had a little TM next to it, trademark for every planet name,
Yeah.
creature name. Is like, how ridiculous is that? Yeah.
I was just thinking about booting up like Star Wars Empire at War, and it's like, what if there was like trademark or shit after every little unit name?
I know. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah.
I have that too, by the way.
Which plays with that?
Yeah, I need to reinstall it. What was I going to say? But it's the same thing with Games Workshop, because some of the names for the Eldar, I think Eldari was copyright. Well, they can't call them elves.
Yeah.
So
That's why they were the
and
You see, okay, that's
Tolkien snatched it.
right. Okay, that's when I was like learning like all this lore from different every genre, like whatever you talk, it's all sci-fi and fantasy. And when I started learning that Tolkien actually got his stories from Norse mythology, and I was like, oh, that's where it came from. I know when it comes to anything dealing with what's like sci-fi fantasy, which is like Star Wars or Star Trek, whatever, Buck Rogers, you name it, it all goes back to, from what I understand, is Isaac Asimov, which was basically Foundation. And then again, his story of Foundation is based on the Roman Empire. So it's always based on, it's interlinked with something else. It's always linked to something else.
Yeah, interlinked with
That's
themselves.
that's what we came with. Stupid name for the podcast, because everything is kind of linked to each other.
In one shape or another, it's basically like Fallout 3, Fallout 4. They're all I keep saying interlinked, but they have comparisons to Blade Runner and all that type of stuff.
Oh, okay. That was the other thing I wanted to bring up. I didn't want to cut you off.
Well, what was I continuing on? And
I'm trying to remember.
especially in Fallout New Vegas with that gun, that was literally what's his name? When Harrison Ford's character, what is his name in the movie?
Decker.
Decker's gun is in New Vegas. It's that gun. Remember? It's a revolver, 5-shot, 5.56 pistol.
I don't know.
You get it from what's the dinosaur's name from Novak? You remember? Pinky, Dinky, something.
I don't know the guy in there.
Well, no, not Cliff Briscoe. No.
Of course, you know him. Jesus.
You know, I know the vendor because he keeps trying to sell you the dino toy.
I've never been out nerded before.
Yeah, so
Just remember, James, that people on average can only remember about 250 like names to faces, and half of them are going to be Fallout New Vegas NPCs. And you're right. That's going to be half of it.
oh shit, but no, but everything to a degree has some form of relation. to
Okay,
something
so
else.
that's that. Back to what I was going to tell you. When we're talking, my other nerd friends, or we're talking
Yeah.
about back years ago, talking how Soldier, Aliens,
Okay.
Blade Runner,
Yeah, you talked about.
they're
this.
all connected.
in one shape or another.
Yeah, because Soldier, if you look, Soldier is the one done by, damn it, I can't remember the actor's name. Shit. Look up Soldier and the
Is that like just Blade Runner cast?
no. Just look up Soldier.
Soldier cast.
Yeah, Soldier.
The movie Soldier.
Movie Soldier.
You know how to spell that, right?
Solder.
No.
I always misspell it.
It's not Solider.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Soldier. I'm typing in Soldier.
Soldier.
It's
Fix it,
yeah.
Movie.
No.
Movie. Good. Put movie.
Yeah.
That's solder. You see?
Yeah.
Did you misspell it? I always misspell it too.
Fuck! I can't be the Jamie. You do it.
SOL. Wait, stop. Right there. Sold ear. Right there. On the right there.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah,
You're gonna put movie next to it.
Yeah, I put movie.
Movie. You see if actually images. Go to images. And see if you actually
images?
see.
Okay, now you want to pull up the cast if you
There.
can.
There.
Oh,
Okay.
was he just there?
Well,
That was a
hold
picture.
on. Let's
Let it
pull
load.
up the picture right quick.
No, that's not it. Damn it.
Damn.
That's not it?
Back up. Yeah.
Codename Soldier, you don't sign him, you unleash him.
It's a similar dumb movie. Right there. Which is that one?
That's the guy from Escape from New York, right?
Yeah. Yes. What's his name? God dang! I can't. I'm terrible with names.
Soldier cast.
Click-
He was also in the new.
Damn it! I don't care about
Click that picture with the guy see the nose, his face, side
Okay.
face. Right there. Look down with the glasses. Go down.
Oh, right there. Stop right
The
there.
first guy.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt
Russell.
Russell.
Okay. Kurt Russell was in Soldier,
Okay.
and if you watch the monitors, or when they could do kind of like a montage of all the battles he's been in. Some of the battles. One of the battles was Tannhauser Gate.
Oh, that's from Aliens, right?
No, that's from Blade Runner.
Oh, Tannhauser Gate.
So Tannhauser Gate, it has battles. You'll see him in the movie, and Tannhauser Gate and all of those stuff, and you see him at the very end when Roy dies at the end, right? He
Yeah.
dies, and he says, "You know what? Life's more important." He saves him at the end, right? He says, "Memories are like tears in rain," right?
oh,
He says
shit.
the battle. I saw
As he beams over the rings of
in the shoulder of Orion.
and shoulder of Orion.
At the Battle of Tannhauser Gate. And so all those so there's a when I started looking into it myself, I found that the writers of Soldier and the writers of other guys, they all were friends. They all knew each other. And so I don't know their names. I'm terrible with names, but I saw a documentary or a video, whatever. It shows how they kind of like played montage to each other, and they kind of included their things to give them that kind of like illusion that they're all connected, basically. So Soldier, and then you have Blade Runner, and if you look at Aliens and Blade Runner, they're real similar.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of sound the same. And so yeah, I think in some
They're
way
both,
they are related. Then if you have Aliens, then you have Predator, right?
Yeah.
That's connected too. So all those are all kind of connected in a way, unofficially. They're all kind of connected. And that was really neat because like Soldier was I like Soldier because of the way Kurt Russell did his character. I was like, this is a really cool. You didn't see a damn word almost the entire film, whatever. And I thought it was really cool. So just for me, I always liked the idea of everything kind of being linked to each other, basically, in some way. I always liked that. But officially, they really can't because of copyrights and all kind of stuff like that.
They can't do that.
Like a good example is like Spider-Man. Like that's the reason when Marvel was doing Marvel whatever with Disney, I was like, there's no way they're gonna get Spider-Man, and they made a deal with Sony, and that's why Sony said, we can actually hold on. But when they started doing this parallel dimensions, all that crap, that kind of screws things up. It's really stupid because it means that anyone who dies doesn't really die.
There's
It's just
absolutely
ridiculous.
no consequence.
There's no exactly right. So but I thought it was that movie of where they had all three of Spider-Mans together it's a really good movie.
Yes.
I liked it.
I was going to say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was really
It was really good. It was really neat, and people are screaming and getting crazy watching it. I liked it myself too, but I was like, that's how you make it. That's how you make it work. And I was like, damn. But it's a easy out. It's bullshit. You know, like it means that there's no consequences.
It works for comic books.
Yeah.
Not so much for cinematic universe.
That's the one thing too about the whole like multiverse thing.
And I was always on Thanos' side. Like I was always because
not enough resources. We got to kill half of everybody. Why don't we get more resources?
I don't know.
just get more. Yeah, it was just really dumb.
Just start looting the other dimensions of their resources.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know.
That would have been a really cool fucking story. Right there, man. Right there. We just gave them an idea, and they're probably not going to use it.
No, the Force is female, dude.
No. The Force is female, bro.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy ain't gonna go out until she gets a win. So we're gonna have her
win, dude.
She's gonna have the Neuralink be fucking 2 million years old and still like put a chick in, make her lame again.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. I think one thing was really sad too is when I first, I kind of wondered, you guys are probably in kindergarten when this shit was happening, basically. You know, like when it started going woke, right? I was watching a guy on YouTube called Marvel Explained. Marvel Explained, kind of like, I always went to him to kind of like, he knew all the lowdown. But one thing I noticed over like years of watching this guy, he never talked anything about that woke shit, whatever it was, right? I didn't, because he just ignored it, or he was okay with it. Then another guy named your boy Zach. Your boy Zach started doing comic reviews, and he would tear comics up he would do something, whatever. He would talk bad about him and buy him and just critique the comic book. And the guy's a veteran too. And so when I started watching his stuff and talking about the same things, like, well, how come this guy's not saying anything about it? And so for me, it was your boy Zach. It actually he was the one that opened my eyes. And I got to meet him one time at a podcast. I got to meet him at a Comic-Con in Bell County in Texas. And I said, you're the one that opened my eyes to this. You were the first one that did. You was like, oh my God, you're right. And I was like, so it kind of ruined all the fantasy sci-fi for me. And this must have happened.
Did it ruin it, or did it just take the filter off so that way objectively?
I put the glasses on, and it gave me a headache, and I saw what was really happening. That's really like that movie.
And then you can't take the glasses off?
You can't take them off because you get a headache. Yeah, he's like, oh, it's just like sad. You're crying because it's ruined everything. Yeah.
They Live, that's the name of the movie.
They Live, yeah.
It's crazy because the Republicans were the bad guys then when that movie
came out.
They were the authoritarians.
They were exactly.
Yeah, and they flipped the script.
They totally flipped
180.
So that's what I'm saying. So for me that was really sad. And then when I started watching Star Trek, big fan of Star Trek. I knew when I was in the Army, I knew the entire history chronological of Star Trek. I could tell everyone like how it started, everything, the Earth unification, the war with Romulans, and I could tell them everything. And then everything was great. I liked all the shows. But it took me a while. I think I grew up in Next Generation. It took me a while to really accept TSO, the original series, and I was like, I have to accept it. So it was like a fan, like, yeah, I accept it. But then the one thing I also learned too during like being a fan of Star Trek, being a fan of Star Wars, I didn't like one better than the other. I liked them both. I loved them both because they're sci-fi. And there was a time where I was in high school. There was no Star Trek. There was no Star Wars. So there was Stargate. So Stargate was my fix for sci-fi back then. And I think it was after the Army too. It was during the Army, and I got out. That's what I watched, and that was Stargate was the only thing I could watch that was like repeatedly you could see it. And the one thing I also learned too was what's retconning, what is canon, learning those terms. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy who he had a YouTube channel too. I forget his name. God dang it. I think he's out of Bama somewhere. But he was explaining that basically all of Star Wars is one continuous thing. And I was like, what? I don't get it. He said that basically, he's like, yeah, he's right. Comic books, novels, cartoons, movies, and Star Wars was the games too. Everything was all one continuous universe. And George Lucas had made it that way for forever. And that's why Star Wars was kind of like purist. Like it was nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. It had to be agreed by George Lucas. George Lucas was like the god of that universe, basically.
It's a shared fictional universe where other people could input, but it all had to go through him. So that way
he always gave the final approval. And anyone who wrote anything had to understand whatever story they had to go to the guru, George Lucas, or the guy who was actually like the librarian, whatever. and go to that person and say, does this fit? Does this fit to this?
Yeah.
And so that's what that was. Star Trek, I learned too that any novels, cartoons were totally different parallel universes. It's like, okay, that works. I get that. And so for Star Trek, J.J. Abrams just ruined it. He ruined it. He and the one thing that really pissed me off is like, why do you got to reinvent the wheel? Just go forward. Just go forward in the time, 500 1,000 years. They never do that. And so when STD, the appropriate abbreviation for discovery, STD perfect.
That's funny.
Fuck, that pissed me the fuck off, man. I just and
Is
to
that,
me,
is that like
Star
the
Trek.
newest? Is that the newest show?
It's with the girl that was on Walking Dead. She died.
Never heard about this.
Yeah, she went over to that show. She was in Walking Dead. Walking Dead was a whole other thing that was awesome too because that was from a comic book, and I didn't know that.
I have two.
Hold on to those. Don't. So that Walking Dead was amazing because there's a whole other story there. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. So Walking Dead there's an analysis to the Dark Ages, to that, the fall of the Roman Empire, and it's what causes that. That to me was like, this is how you understand what's happening here. So for Star Trek, it died for me. It killed it for me, and I was like, I'm done. And then when it happened to Star Wars, when I didn't realize it, but when Star Wars died for me, the moment that it was sold to Disney,
When George Lucas couldn't be the gatekeeper anymore,
it was
the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
just ruined it. And then so you can see now, like just if you now just like watched Acolyte. Oh my god, it's like it was. I was like, what the fuck is this fucking show about?
the power of one.
The power.
The power of many is just it's so fucking. And what was really sad too was seeing Star Wars Theory, seeing his face.
Yeah, that's
Killed
dude.
him.
it made with this
It's just-
fandom that made him
Yes.
turn its back on everybody.
It just, man, he's still a hardcore fan of the old stuff, and I like his videos. I subscribed to him when they were going after him too, when they're trying to cancel him all that. And I bought a lightsaber from him too because
Oh
fucking
yeah,
cool. It's
yeah.
so
By the way, it is really amazing. You should check-
Theorysabers.com.
Yeah, you should check them out.
that saber's amazing.
Should we provide a link?
Is it Saber Theory or Theories? I'll put it up.
30 sabers.
Theory Saber.
Theory Sabers.
Yeah, it's really good. He's in San Antonio right now doing a Comic-Con. But it's really obviously I watch a lot of Nerdrotic and all those guys, and I listen to everything, and also I'm into politics too and everything, and military history, you name it, everything. And then that's the one thing that's what I'm seeing. I saw it when it happened, and so it took probably 10 years. It took like 10 years to where now, in the past couple of years, that people are sick of it. And I think when someone asked me, what is woke? Okay, I have to give an example. What is woke? Okay, Budweiser. No, Bud Light. There you go. What happened to Bud Light? That's an example of what woke is.
I've heard a definition of woke that it was like so succinct and to the point, and I forgot it already. But woke is becoming this weird thing now where if you call everything woke, it'll take the meaning away from that.
You're saying it's being called,
I mean, that's like
Nazi, or whatever.
Similar, but it's like there needs to be another term, or the definition needs to be more widely spread.
Yeah.
So, like I can't even remember what it was, but
If you recognize
cult-like
it, you see it.
adherence to the narrative.
Okay, to see now before that, that's when we'll talk about. It's all again linked to each other, and I think what it is, progressivism was kind of like the religion or this fanatical thing that actually caused that too. And before that, there's DEI from Obama, pretty much. That's where it all fucking started. So it all starts there. So progressivism, when I was seeing what was happening to me with progressivism is good at moderation, like.
In certain areas like technology, progress.
It's good, yeah.
Identity politics. That's the term where it became about your
terrible.
color over your fucking character.
Terrible thing.
we're slowly bringing back the first mock trial of this. Slowly bringing it back. Slowly. Remember the exhalationists and all that type of stuff you were talking about?
The accelerationists.
What's that?
So remember the last time we had?
No, it's good. I can.
Yeah.
So-
we were going to do this anyways.
from my understanding, accelerationism is the system is fucked up. The only way is forward, so we need to speed up the collapse so that way the beautiful golden age that comes after the fall can happen sooner. They want it to happen in their lifetime.
Yes.
It's amazing. That I think learning from watching all these nerds talk about culture, because culture is the trench. That's where the war is happening. The trenches is culture. And then once people are starting to see and getting sick of it and then making judgments on it, that's when you'll start that front line, the trenches of the culture war, is what affects everything after that.
Yes.
And the culture was pure, and you had like Michael Jordan saying like Republicans buy sneakers too. So like it doesn't matter what
I
you
remember
think.
that.
If you're gonna buy the product, I'm not gonna like shit on you for what you believe.
Well, that's
Disagree
why
with them, but-
Downey Jr., I like him. Even though he's a liberal, whatever, it doesn't matter. I like him because he's smart. He's not stupid to alienate half his audience. And that's a smart man.
Alienation
It's
is stupid.
That's yeah.
Well, good alienation can be
Well, yeah.
moderation. Everything in moderation.
If you do it in moderation and you basically cut the wheat from the chaff, you're good. That will be the good type of alienation. Now, if you just fucking cut everything in half and just throw it all away,
What that is basically it's ideas that hold value. That's what that is, because when you have people talking, and they say an idea or whatever, and if it's worth anything, it's given energy to it. Like you more talk. If it's not worth anything, eventually it falls off to the side, and it's evolutionarily done away with.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the ideas that good ideas find their way to the top.
Meritocracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. And so that's the one thing. Oh man, I don't know. You want to go into that too? Because
Meritocracy versus mediocrity.
well, okay, because when I've heard that word before, and when it wasn't until Musk, Elon Musk, gave it his interview with Jordan Peterson, and I was like, there you go. That's it. That's a meritocracy where it was and where it is. Who holds it now? Again, the Overton window. The platform does not change, right? The people are in the same location typically, but the Overton window where it shifts, where it moves.
It's whatever the mass, like the herd believes.
Yeah.
Typically, that's where the Overton window shifts.
Now I've heard Tim, was it a comedian called, I forget his name.
Tim Dillon.
Not Tim Dillon, not the fat guy, the older guy with glasses.
Older guy
With glasses. He's smart. He is funny. He's a libertarian. He is a liberal, and I still like him because the way he said it, the Overton window shifted to the right. Maybe he's right. I thought the Overton window kind of shifted to the left. It made it worse. That's what I'm confused on. But it shifted definitely.
If you're not left of Karl Marx, you're a far right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best way to explain the Overton window shift, right?
Which is ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's when you understand what a meritocracy is and who's holding that position, because who's holding that position now is the Republicans. Well, when someone
it's starting to transition right now.
Yes.
We'll see by the election whether.
meritocracy is being held by the Republicans straight up, because the idea, when I first heard the idea of you were to bring back Kennedy.
If you're saying that the Republicans are adhering to
Yes, the meritocracy.
yes, yes.
They hold it now.
Hopefully he stays out of debt.
Because I think what meritocracy stays where it's at. It's the group moving into that location, and that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Because a meritocracy definition, this is what America is good. This is what's good for America.
So,
period.
Meritocracy is based on merit. So
Yes.
say you need like
What's best for the nation? Yeah.
you need like someone who's good at sorting, I don't know, laundry, and you find the guy or girl, whatever.
Yeah.
You find
Who's best
whoever
for-
is best at sorting the laundry, and you hire them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what we're currently under is diversity, equity, inclusion
that's
bullshit, which
focused.
that takes priority over meritocracy. So it's not who can do the job the best; it's who matches the criteria for the checkbox we have to fill out, and hopefully they're good at
That
it.
doesn't work. That's an idea that won't float to the top. That'll be thrown in the trash in the toilet.
Well, some of them were actually getting rid of it too recently.
They're starting to because they're hemorrhaging money, and
Yeah,
BlackRock
really bad.
can't fund them fast enough to make up for their losses.
Yeah, BlackRock is the guy who runs
Forced behavior. Larry Fink of BlackRock was saying
He
we need
started-
to force behaviors, and that's
No,
what they're doing with finance.
that's changed. He's actually realizing that this is
Yeah,
not
the spotlight
working.
was put on him, and he
Yes.
doesn't like the spotlight.
Yeah, and it's not
He
working.
wants to crawl back under his BlackRock.
I have to say he's a fucking bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's
It's ironic because he wants us to eat bugs, but
no, not
I shouldn't go putting words in his mouth. I don't know if Larry Fink
That'd be like
adheres to the World Economic Forum.
That'll be like
bullshit.
the one scene from, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was on Sci-Fi Channel for a bit, but it was called Happy. I don't know if you've seen it. There was a line from that movie. It was from this. I forgot. I don't really remember the premise, but it had to do with some really not nice stuff. How do I want to say it? Because this is going YouTube.
Okay, are you talking about
grapes.
Like
No.
not
Well,
the fruit.
No. It's more or less like if you were to, you were basically taking about this tall of hairless dogs and like boxes and stuff and take them out of the country. You know what I mean? Tall hairless dogs about this big, 2 arms, 2 legs. You know about this high.
Talk about monkey.
I'm talking. I can't say it because it's going to get demonetized.
No,
You can't say monkey.
No.
Don't say it. Just
You're
don't
way
change
way
the
too
subject.
autistic here. What are you?
Change the subject.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't say that. You can't say anything.
Human smuggling?
I don't think you can say that either.
You can say that. You can say
I
that.
don't, can you? I know you can't say like.
I think
don't
it's the S
Well, yeah.
that you can't say.
The saxophone. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the saxophone
Saxophone.
traffic.
Yeah, the saxophone traffic.
All right, back to what you were talking about.
Well,
Saxophone traffic.
yeah. So basically, that was happening in the movie, right? By the way, it's a good movie. It's really fucking
What's it called?
crazy. Happy with an exclamation point. But basically, what happened in this movie is there was a scene. I'm kind of just spoiling it, but I don't really
Who
care.
cares?
But there's this guy. He's in a bug suit. Yes. By the way, in the next room over, there is like this. I don't know if I can't say that other. A group of people doing a big hug in a room.
A circle jerk?
No, I'm talking about like a shit ton of people. They're all dressed up in costumes and everything like that, disguising their
Or
identity.
guy?
Huh?
An or guy? Are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about an or guy?
Yeah, an orc. Yeah.
An urukai?
Urukai.
You're not calling it an orc.
You're talking in code.
Yeah, basically.
censorship.
Oh my
The censorship,
God.
yeah. It's a bitch. But in the next room, because he had the custom on just to do that type of shit. But he basically had one of his, I'm assuming one of his capos, or for the layman, captains, in this whole ring that there was going on. They were supposed to capture kids and everything like that. And there was pressure being put onto the ring. Like, this ring was doing shit kind of in secret, and they had people under the payroll and everything like that. And the bug guy was hassling one of his captains, and he basically says, "You know what bugs don't like?" And he kind of just sat there. The guy, he's like, "The lights," and he just peers over his shoulder on the left, and he says, "Exposure!" Just scaring the fuck out of him. And see, the guy, the CEO of BlackRock, he doesn't like the light. He doesn't like the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're trying-
also another thing to Interlinked. I'm not saying that the CEO guy does the.
Yeah, we interlinked Urukai, saxophone
Yeah.
trafficking.
Saxophone trafficking.
Yeah.
What was the other? I forgot what the first one said was.
Human smuggling.
Yeah, human smuggling.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I still don't know if we can say that.
See, if there were replicants, it would make a difference.
Well, okay. Here's the thing too: is YouTube doesn't like the sight of blood. It doesn't like to show that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if it's aliens,
Jamie,
anything that's not human, they don't. Get
Jamie,
it.
pull up videos of alien blood.
Yeah, pull up a Spartan beating the shit out of an elite preferred species guy.
That's another franchise, dude.
Yeah, that's
Halo.
another one.
It's like same way with Star Trek.
Yeah. Ruined for you when the show came out?
It wasn't so much the woke stuff. It's just that the whole team that made it just dipped essentially after was it Reach. Yeah, Reach was the last one. So then,
I jump with the game itself.
yeah, the game, the story in the game, it just
Yeah.
It did not go the direction that it seemed was initially supposed to go
Really?
in the following installments. And right now, it seems like they're in a weird place where they don't know what they want to do with the series, and I don't even care to
Well,
look
the
up.
guy
I
that
don't
had
know.
the
Yeah.
original idea was no longer there. He dipped, like you
Right,
said.
but that's not a death knell for an IP. It's,
Well, yeah.
if you get the right people to pass the torch to, then that's not a problem.
That's not a
That's
problem at all.
the whole thing. Is like it doesn't matter, man.
But it was Microsoft who was in charge of who got past the torch, and they picked the studio that would drop it, which they're still dropping it, and they're rebranding, and it's the same thing I see certain crypto coins do, where they'll change the ticker and they'll change the name so that way they get a fresh new chart.
So there's a thing too. I need to mention this too as well when I get the chance. Again, I got the chance now. Halo would have been a lot different if Bungie kept on going with Marathon. Halo would have been.
that, but...
Oh, you don't want to be familiar with
Yeah, I
it.
heard they were going to try to bring that back, and I don't.
The thing is, like, they're going to change Marathon. This is what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I have to do a little bit more research into it. But they're going to make it like Tarkov, an extraction shooter.
There's potential.
You played good. You guys played Marathon?
I never played it.
I played it. Yeah.
It's on Steam.
For me, that was like look at the graphics, they're incredible. Yeah, that was back then. They were like.
Well, the thing is too, like, this. I'm just gonna bring this up too. Like, we go, like the younger generation still has like a lot to learn from the older generation and everything like that, depending on the person, of course.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a different.
and marathon, this and like, so like Doom and everything like that, you can do like certain techniques and everything like that, grenade jumping, all sorts of stuff. That's if you want to unlock the secrets in Marathon, you have to do those techniques. You got to do grenade jumping. You got to do like, it's not like
There's a challenge to it.
there's a challenge to it if you want to get to the nitty gritty of the story of Marathon. But it was basically supposed to be kind of like a Doom clone, kind of with its own story, and the story is. It's like all over the place. It's fucking spaghetti, bro, everywhere. Everything. There's multiple timelines. Multiple timelines are weird. It's not woke. If anything, it shows that your character is learning how to use quantum entangling and all that type of stuff because you're a cyborg.
Oh, it's Meat Puppet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. I think he was activated on Mars, but they had to get to hightail it out of there because the 4 fucked it over. So, Mandalore Gaming has all 3 videos on it. You should look at them; they're fucking amazing. But
I might get into Marathon.
I would watch his videos first.
Is Bungie still in charge of Marathon, or did they pass it off to somebody else?
Well, Bungie was going to do Marathon again, but that's like I said, they're going to do an extraction shooter from the looks of it, and I think they canned it because their biggest IP, Destiny 2, they still have going on.
The way they could bring back Destiny, bring OG Destiny to Steam on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck with it.
Leave
it alone.
Well, I think they have to do a little bit.
They gotta port it. I understand that,
Yeah.
but as is, decent game.
Yeah.
Not Destiny 2 live service bullshit. I didn't even like that the first Destiny was live service, but at least someone was able to crack the source code of that so they could run their own instances.
They had to do that because of Activision, bro. If they didn't I guess they had to. But
The other thing is we need to stop letting fucking huge corporations just buy up IP when we know they're not going to do anything good with it. Like if you have a good IP,
You'll put it in reserve.
I'm looking at you, Xbox.
It's like there's a good clip from Smiling Friends where like they have like a CEO of a game company and he's like,
"Oh, yeah.
no, that's my IP to sit on and do absolutely nothing with."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that seems like that's the modern.
Is that like
MO?
the blue chubby?
Yes, the
chubby
fucking
guy?
Nugget Man.
The rub ketchup on the Doom clone guy.
Yeah,
I need to watch that episode, by the way.
it's good. Smiling Friends, Zach Hadel and Michael Cusack. Those guys are cool, and Chris O'Neill. He's cool.
But shit, where were we? We got so
Yeah, we were just fucking all over.
It was replicants because we were talking about that, and then we got to multiple other things.
Well, that's not. How do you like? Do we just free roll like this? But what the hell are we gonna title it? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
Well,
I know.
it would
I
be.
think this is a just good old test run.
Yeah.
If we upload it, cool.
Yeah.
If it stays on the shelf forever, also
If
cool.
anything, this is going to be like a lost episode. They'll probably get.
I
Need
think I
some
don't
out
mind
or
if we
something.
put this one up. This see where it goes. This is just like it is like we talked about it for like the idea of the podcast, like the like when I was doing films in Texas, we were so hung up on it had to be perfect.
Mhm.
And
I don't think
that-
it has.
I
doesn't
think I
have to
have a
be.
little bit of that, a little
Yeah.
bit of autism towards that.
when it
but-
comes to podcasts, because the podcasts do not have to be perfect. Visually, they don't have to be perfect.
Well,
The sound has to sound.
that's
good.
the most important.
That's the only
part,
thing. So that's the thing. We'll figure it out. And also, like it's a good project because like okay, this is kind of the reason why I want to do this too. Is if possible, collaboration with other YouTubers or
Yeah.
whoever.
Podcasts.
It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be Rumble, whatever, in the future. Because when you sent me that trailer for Stalker, so when I realized when I realized this is the guy who did SCP Overlord, and when I saw SCP Overlord, I was like, was it SCP?
SCP.
SCP?
Secure, Contain, Protect.
SCP Overlord, and when I saw that one, I was like, damn, this is a really good, this is a film that somebody made. They spent a lot of money and time, and I could tell because the production value was pretty good. And I saw the other one, the one before that one. What was that one called? That was SCP.
Which one? What is it? The one with the van?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the one when they get there in the van.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The actual PC itself was sentient.
Oh,
That-
what SCP is that? Holy shit!
That's the first. That was actually part one.
Is it SCP-79?
No. It's a bed. I forget what it's called.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, look it up right now because those guys did that one first. There's a short film they did first, and it wasn't too bad. And then they did Overlord. That was the second one they did. And so they're actually going to make a third one called Heretic, but it didn't get funded properly. And so when I came across them when they did,
Yeah, it's a SCP-79. It is a computer. It is a
seven, I thought it was called Home something or something else.
Okay, this
I think he's talking about the actual entry for the.
No one's gonna fucking understand what you're talking about, man.
There's some.
You
nerds out there.
can't talk super nerd talk because the normies like me are not gonna. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's going to be people who stumble across this who are going to understand what I'm talking about.
That won't.
That
I
will.
think if we roll it
Okay,
back,
so that's the fucking problem,
Well, yeah.
man. You gotta make it. You gotta dumb it. You gotta
So,
do it in crayon.
so-
SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect. It's a shared
Yeah.
fictional universe where you can
It's
submit
narratively
entries.
fluid.
Yes.
That's-
Yeah,
that's
when
what
I
they
learned
call
about that, when I had somebody all this stuff that I learned, like this SCP stuff, is YouTube. Like, what does SCP mean? And I realized, oh, it's all bullshit.
So
Oh, I thought because I thought it was like something from real stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, this is
That's
bullshit.
it likes to
It's
LARP
really
as that.
good.
And back in the day, they could get away with it. because
Yes,
There wasn't as much
it was really
shit
good.
out there on it, and there was no.
Go to his YouTube, and the title,
what are you talking about?
the guy Evan Royalty, what's it called?
Oh, Evan Royalty. Is
His-
this the motherfucker, by the way? What do you mean, no? This is the only living computer in the fucking universe.
Go to his YouTube channel and go to his videos and find SCP. So you'll find Overlord, but keep going
Yeah.
back and you'll find the other one he did.
I'm going to switch over
Yeah.
to my actual YouTube account. I didn't give you the password and username.
Yep.
So that when I discovered it's like creepypasta, basically. That everyone understands.
That's how it started off
Yeah.
as. And then it slowly progressed
Oh,
into making
well, I was
these
getting to-
amazing stories.
So after watching, so he sent me that Stalker, and that's the same guy who did Overlord. So I said, you know what? Let me contact him. And so I contacted him and I said, hey man, I sent him an email. I thought this guy's never going to answer, but I'll put it out there anyway. He actually replied.
Yeah.
The director actually replied. I was like, holy crap! So I said, hey, if you need a location to in your film, let me know.
Is it Dollhouse, by the way?
Yes, Dollhouse. SCP
Yeah, that was
Dollhouse was the
loud
first.
ass snap. I can't even do that. I don't know how the fuck
You don't know how to snap?
No, not that loud. It's
You know
just
how to whistle? Don't do it.
I know how to-
Thanos.
Yeah, he has the Thanos snap going on.
So Dollhouse was the first one they made, which is not too bad. It's actually pretty good. And when they were explaining what it was all about, it's basically the PC has become sentient, and it actually glitched the two people actually living in the house with it. So it's really good.
So it like logic plagued them?
Yeah, or something. Yeah, it's really cool. And there's something about the mirror too, something like really neat. So the mirror also is actually an Overlord too. There's something about the mirror which is really neat. That's something to do with like psychedelics and stuff too. That's where that's another whole story we need to talk about later on.
Yeah. Psychedelics, bro.
So when I said, hey, we give you any location, whatever, let us know. And then he responded back and he goes, I might not ever film in that location, but I'll keep you in mind. Thanks.
That's cool.
And then I said, well, here's the location. There's other stuff, cool stuff too, old silos. And then
Have them check out the bunker.
yeah, AT&T long lines, like that kind of stuff too. And then of course I sent a picture, and you see a picture of my dog taking a shit in the picture. So they said that, but I'm not gonna harass him again. But it was really neat they actually responded because I like what he's doing.
It's cool how like you use like a little bit older technology, like Sazbula with the pagers. They use that, but email where it kind of filters out the crazies because who's going to go through the effort of like typing up an email?
Yeah. It's really that part I like is the whole like filmmaking, and then when I talk to you guys about doing films, like man, I think the easiest thing to do is do a podcast. That's the easiest thing for us to do. I think the conversation, like, look, we're talking like what, an hour and a half now or 2 hours probably.
I think we're just over the threshold of an hour.
Okay, that's not too bad.
After I combine it all back
That's
together.
not too bad. So that's what I'm saying. We can talk like this forever.
That first part needs to be like scrapped or something.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Double overlay, the fucking audio.
No, if you can take it out.
I'll do the best I can to fix it, but
just like cut the
Okay,
audio,
okay.
just like cut the audio.
But that's no.
And like put
See, no,
subtitles.
don't listen to him.
dub it. We just pretend like we remember what we said.
Yeah.
No, the reason why, because right there, this self-editing. Don't do that.
What do you mean by self-editing?
Like, oh, that's not good enough. Let's not show that one. Unless the audio is, if the audio is good, I think we should.
I was suggesting a really terrible idea, by the way, because it was a joke. Because I said just just subtitle all of it, and then he brought up like, how about we just like cut the audio out and just dub over it and pretend like we know what we're saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that works too.
No, I'm saying like if we can use it, we should use this. Just keep going, dude. Just don't stop. That's what I'm saying. That was the problem with working with short films. Yeah, was the constant holdup. Like I could talk about my film I did with Leopard Wars and the puppets, and how we're trying to get the right camera and it never got anywhere. I still have all the props. I still want to do something here with you guys with that. We come up with something. Because I have all the props, dude. The lasers and everything, the little lights and everything, the armor and the tanks. I have all that. I got a boat. I'm ready to blow up. I made a boat, dude.
In Minecraft. In Minecraft.
PUBG. No, it's a boat.
No, it's a real boat.
It's a small little boat we built. With the puppets will be actually in it.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's get away from the bad guys, and then boom, like blow it up when they hit the beach. Like I have all that ready to go, but I never got around to it.
It's an Arma 3, by the way. We're gonna blow up a boat in Arma 3.
It's a real prop. It's a real prop. Shut up.
No, it's a film that I was trying to do with puppets and everything. So, and again, I'm not a good writer, but I just for me, it was more like I just want to see a combat film with puppets. That was the whole, and it was based also off of
Team America.
No, it was actually the inspiration was Watership Down.
Watership Down.
Never heard of that.
What?
No.
Okay, so Watership Down is a book written by an English guy.
Okay.
And then when you actually realize what's happening, it's basically rabbits in a warren. All the little tunnels and shit.
Okay, yeah.
And one of the rabbits gets a premonition. We're all gonna die.
Oh, God.
We gotta run. And what it is development. We're gonna lay a road here and put some houses, and that's what it was. And so it's basically them getting a premonition. And the very beginning, if you ever get a chance to watch the original 2-dimensional, not 3-dimensional, the 2-dimensional, I think they did another one. Actually, it was not too bad actually. So this is a cool story for them.
I gotta use the head.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can keep the thing going.
I'm James now.
Yeah,
so Watership Down, it's a cartoon, but the first part is like 2-dimensional cartoon, and it was all the creation myth of Left the prince with 1,000 enemies.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, dude, you gotta check it out. So the introduction is like that. That's what I'm gonna do. In the 2-minute introduction of Prince Lapara, the prince of all the rabbits. Everyone hated him, and that was the inspiration to do the Lipper Wars. That was the whole idea. And so when I learned more about the Watership Down, the actors did all the dialogue, right? And then when they saw the cartoon, they said, "Oh, we didn't know I was gonna look like that." And it's like, so all the actors, they all talk to each other. Hey, you want to ask them if we can redub it and do it? Yeah, because look, we didn't know we were gonna be doing that. So they redid the entire thing. They did the dubbing first, and they saw what they didn't match. The actors didn't like it, and they felt like, no, we could do better than this. And so they let them redo it, and it came out better. That was a behind the scenes kind of thing, like how it was made. And I was like, oh my! So like for me, it was always based on, it's not the cookie, it's how do you make the cookie. That's what it was for me. Like how do you make that cookie? You're gonna need this, and this, right? Eggs, stove, whatever recipe, whatever it is. That to me was more entertaining and more interesting than actually the film itself. So when I started doing that, like learning stuff, that when I worked at a video store in Austin called I Love Video, and I thought I knew about movies, but I didn't know shit about movies until I started working there, and I was like, that's when I learned about Bollywood. You know, Bollywood, like what the hell is Bollywood? And they're like stuck in the 50s, and all I do is they're all musicals. It's like, is this real? And it's all, that's what Bollywood.
If it sells,
and it's bigger than Hollywood, like 5 times bigger than Hollywood. It's crazy. Yeah, but I don't like the
per capita though, like population wise.
Oh, of course,
India's a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Did you hear the explanation of Watership Down? Like,
Yeah, I was here for that.
Oh, good. Did you hear it? You didn't hear it?
Well, I don't know if you went into further detail.
No, I was saying that the actors, when they did the voiceover, they saw it and they did like, no, we could do better than that, and they redid it.
Yeah.
They redid the audio for the. So they did another Watership Down, like a reversion of it or something. It was not too bad, but the original was really good. Yeah, if you get a chance to watch it on YouTube, or you can find it on YouTube for free, I think.
Free with ads?
Free with ads, yeah. You can watch it there.
I have premium. Oh.
And I hate it. The bill keeps going up. They're introducing a premium light. Well, I have to at work because all the podcasts I listen to, there's no fucking way I could live with the amount of ads that would be on that. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to hours on end.
I'll show you what I do.
But yeah, you can use ad blockers, but they're starting to crack down on that shit even more. Like, well, it's not that like they're arguing it's illegal or anything. They're just straight up making it like hard coded in that like your ad blocker will stop you from even accessing the site.
Well, it's for good reason because
they have to make their money, and
I understand why.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna do I don't want to say full time, but if we keep doing this and get a following and everything like that, we have to either depend on sponsors or we have to depend on ad revenue.
We can't.
I think this beginning part needs to be love of the game.
Yeah.
That kind of talk is that's in the future.
Well,
we're talking.
anybody. No, I know. I'm just telling you that's how YouTube works, and that's why they're doing the stupid code shit, so they can make their money. The people on the site can make their money.
Well, they can make a lot more money if they fucking fire half of their staff.
Yeah.
Like if they do the Elon Musk approach, where all the fucking useless people at the company get fucking out of there.
I bet you
they wouldn't have to put as many ads out.
I bet you there's an alternate universe where YouTube is bought by Elon Musk. I bet you.
That's pretty good.
Oh man, when that
which one's better for free speech? Which one?
Well, Elon at the moment.
Well, I'm talking about Twitter or
definitely Twitter right now.
Yeah. But
you're not going to get the same audience there.
Yeah,
because people don't go to Twitter to watch long form video.
Well, actually, no, they're starting to now.
They are. They're integrating. They need an actual like YouTube type browsing setup for video if they're going to go that route.
Netflix almost did it too. Yeah.
I like seeing videos interspersed with like tweets and shit like that, but when I see like a 3-hour video, I'm like, fuck this, I'm on the shitter, dude. I'm going to scroll to the next tweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to parse through all this.
YouTube cracked down on the like Joe Rogan and Trump. Fucking.
Did they?
They did. Yeah. They did crack down on. Let me rephrase that. They stopped it from being like searched up and everything like that. You actually have
shadow ban.
Yeah, shadow ban. You have to go to Joe Rogan's channel to watch it.
So that was the reason podcast blew up on YouTube is because they were trying to compete with Netflix at the time, and so they set the algorithm to favor more long form content, thinking they were going to get something like House of Cards or.
I never agreed with short-term content. I remember when YouTube kind of
They're going full blown opposite
What are
direction.
we talking about?
Are you serious?
There's a fucking church house creeper in here. Fuck you.
When YouTube started, when you started doing like the short term, like there was these Finnish guys.
Fish guys.
They did a movie. It was like Space Nazis. Yeah, Iron Sky. Iron Sky.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
They actually, I remember back when like YouTube, like years after, I didn't get on there right away. It was like years after that you could only have like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever. And then
You had to hit the 10-minute mark so that way you could get that mid-roll ad, and
Yeah.
then they'd still throw ads on the end.
And everyone's like, no, you gotta, because when I did our podcast, we're doing for a while, and I said, no, we're doing long format. I think it's a better, if you can't stay, I understand that you can't stay for like 2 hours watching a podcast. I can, because I make the time for it, and if I have time, I'll go back and pick up where I left off and watch it again, whatever. And eventually you'll watch it, but the short-term format, I never agreed with it. I never, to me, it was like, no, if you have a short-term attention span, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You got a fucking problem.
Coco
problem.
Melon. You ever heard of that?
Coco
The
Melon!
longest cut in that is like a little over 6 seconds.
Are you serious?
So that's the longest out of all of Coco Melon's content. You're only looking at one thing for 6 seconds at the longest.
Brain dead.
Literally destroying the attention span of all of these kids.
Fucking brain dead.
Yeah, I need to tell my
It's
brother
fucking
to
stupid.
make him watch something else. Make his kid watch something
Oh
else.
god.
I can't after.
I don't
No,
know if he still
I
is.
get suckered into the shorts on Facebook and on YouTube because they're actually some are
I'll
entertaining.
look at them when I'm on the show,
And then-
but at the same
yeah.
time, I'll
Oh,
sit there
that's
until my
all-
legs fall asleep.
Oh, when I send them to you, you're like, oh, I'm not watching them. But
It's
when
on
you-
Twitter. I'm not actually watching YouTube Shorts. Those are cancer. Twitter is different.
I send
but-
you good ones. Al jokes, those are funny.
Right, but the format for YouTube Shorts is fucking garbage.
It is.
It
Literally
auto
just
plays.
TikTok.
God, I'm so pissed. Twitter started doing this too, but
Yeah.
after the video ends, it'll fucking skip you to the next video. I'm like,
I
no,
know,
fuck you. I
right?
want to be on that tweet.
And
I
then
have to where it doesn't do that.
Dude, and
I think
sometimes
Twitter Blue, you can disable that. But
yeah, dude, you're on Twitter, right? I'm sitting here watching a
Well, I
video,
don't go on Twitter.
and it's from HD2. I'm sitting here looking at it, right? It's funny shit. Ha, 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 ha. And then next thing you know, it's either an ad or
Thirst
another
trap.
video. That too. It's like, why?
because you stared at him too long and now it knows you're a dude.
I mean, hey, it's true. Knows what I want. Hey, I'm a simple creature.
It's just like with Instagram, like fucking, you go to the search for anything, like type in fucking like tires. This fucking bitch is talking about how like their fucking vehicles falling apart. And I was like, I don't care about that. I want to
I know.
look at tires.
I want to look at
don't
like.
care about that.
I want to know if they have the
I want
tires
a
that I
skateboarding
need.
video. Here's a girl who's just like, oh man, here's a skateboard I got. By the way, have you seen my titties?
Well,
You want to see my titties? Yeah, exactly. It's like no.
You
Subscribe to my OnlyFans. Click
we,
the
we
link
all
tree.
know that
Like my OnlyFans.
we know the term, right? You know, sex sells.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's basically what's going on. You have to have a hot woman. to sell
Eye candy.
shit. You need eye candy.
That's fine, but
That's why
You gotta
gun
put tits in
buddies
the
exist.
thumbnail. Tobuscus.
You need gun buddies existing and all that type of stuff so that you can get some of these things out. But if you're a gun nut, you don't really need a gun buddy to, be like, oh, I want this fucking gun. So
I don't know. Some of those Fed posts look pretty good. Like, I actually might go die for Ukraine. There's
no.
some pretty hot chicks over there, dude. I watched these recruiting
When a
videos.
goon's
Dude,
wife is a CIA operative.
That shit.
that's like fifth generational warfare.
Yeah,
at
I
the
know,
fucking
dude.
Craziest.
That's definitely psyop.
Sure.
Doing that. They're doing that stuff.
Oh, you're wearing a shirt now. So,
What?
Wendigoons. Should we even mention that or something?
Are we
like that?
name dropping Wendigo now?
We were name dropping everybody.
With that, what you?
Shit, look, is he the director? Is Wendigo the director?
Oh, goodness.
Look at
gracious.
it. I
but
bet
hopefully
you
it doesn't nuke the recording again.
Probably.
Hey guys, Editor Brad here. So we did record a little outro here, but this is also before we realized that the second name we chose was also taken. So I'm here to plug the actual name over this sped up footage. So we're actually Chromosome 2 Podcast, and that handle is at C2P_2024. And nobody else had anything to plug, so if you want to follow me specifically, I am at SoggyHog on Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys. We will put another one up.